This is back in like 2006.
Our Tila Tequila.
26.
She's a small fish in the big YouTube pond, and I think I'm gonna hook up with her.
I literally used
link
to
up, get her on the show.
Crossover
Get her in the
content.
I literally used to
Discord.
download her porn off of LimeWire.
Welcome to Tape Eaters, everyone. This is Yakov. Who's on the fucking panel tonight? We got Baron over here.
Hi, boys.
We got Greasy.
What's up? My name's Baron.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, dude?
Chad Polskull Von. I don't know how to say that. What's up,
Chad Polska Ivan.
Oh, God. I was seeing the I as an L. Fuck me.
Call me
Too
hillbilly.
high.
Chad Polskan iDubbbz.
What up, Chad?
Pulls a gun on iDubbbz. Pulls a gun.
Yes.
Pulls a gun on.
Disgusting. What's
Chad
up? Stone
Polskan
Claw's
on
in the fuck.
iDubbbz.
Senor's in here. Oh, let's do it. What's up, boys?
Are we watching? Are we watching parts of the iDubbbz doc, or what's
We
going
are.
on here?
We are.
Hearts of
We're
Iron.
gonna do this.
Oh my god.
Don't
I'm gonna
fucking
talk about irony.
look. We're gonna start from the bottom. We're gonna go to the top. You got to watch the iDubbbz content if you want to get to the Tila Tequila content. It's just a sacrifice you're gonna have to make.
Nice.
Disgusting.
Shut the fuck up. Listen to iDubbbz be a fucking jackass.
I'll take a few minutes to talk about irony. I wish there was a perfect way to explain to you guys why talking to Sam Hyde is
my
frustrating. Not only to a person
It's frustrating
making a
me.
documentary about him, but as a guy who doesn't actually know Sam on a
This
personal
in
level.
before
A lot of people probably
is an
refer
epic
to
book.
irony as having metaphorical layers, but irony exists in a circle. This is the circle of irony. At the top of the circle of irony, you
iDubbbz
have
eats shit.
sincerity. You can't have any amount of irony without some sincerity behind it. Here's an example of a sincere thought. I don't like eating shit. People who are not being ironic say sincere things like that all the time.
Imagine being sincere in fucking 2022. You would get locked up in prison fucking tomorrow if you were ever sincere. If you ever decided to be sincere in real life.
I'm
I
sincere
know
all the
such a
time.
fucking pussy, dude. I do not like this guy.
One at a time. Senor, what is that about eating shit?
Imagine saying that you're being sincere while you're saying that you don't want to eat shit.
Exactly.
It's just outright lying.
And that, my friends, is called irony. And this, imagine having to explain irony and having to do it as a reason why no, Sam didn't BTFO me. But I do think there's significance to this. We're gonna go into it.
That's how BTFO'd he got. He had to explain irony.
Philosophical meta takes. Gotta.
You might say that it's the default way to say things. The next rung on the circle of irony is just called irony. You might be familiar with this from English class, and it basically means that
How do I speed
you
this
kind
up?
of feel the opposite of
Two-
what is
two
being
times.
expressed.
1.25.
It's basically just sarcasm. Oh yeah, I love eating shit. Great. People think I love eating shit now. Isn't that
I really
just
like iDubbbz.
This is the go-to boomer humor
I
that
like his
old people-
content.
And here he is fucking mocking boomer humor. Well, all he is a milquetoast fucking YouTube dork. And like, what could be more boomer shit than that? Like, this is what people fucking sit in the kitchen and fucking watch dinner, and this is what they're staring at on the screen.
Yeah,
Like, total
he
fucking
is-
normie.
He's a 30-year-old bear.
Yeah, he is definitely like
Donald
soaking
Trump
up.
just
He's
did
soaking
this,
up
so
the.
good.
He's soaking up the fucking millennial like post-boomer idealism. Like he's just a fucking
A Cobes
He's soaking up something.
coping hard.
thrive
Everyone
off
said
of.
they keep
They
covering
love
I couldn't
sarcasm.
understand.
It is a basic level of irony to the point where it's almost irrelevant to millennials and Zoomers. After irony, we have
True
post-irony.
statement.
This is where you say something in a way that makes it sound like you don't mean it when you actually do mean it. In other words, you're using irony to make a joke about how you're joking. Oh, I don't like eating shit. Oh, me? Oh, no, I don't like eating shit. I hate that. I don't like eating shit. I don't like eating delicious, creamy
If
shit.
you understood
Stop
this, then
saying
why
that
did he get
about me. If you put
BTFO'd so bad?
Well, I
Sorry
feel like
to
what he's
interrupt.
got to do is make his theory and add a bunch of layers and steps to it to think how fucking intelligent he is.
He thought
Like-
fucking Sam Hyde had a fucking drug-addicted girlfriend. Like, sincerely.
He's a fucking.
He's explaining irony to me when he didn't realize that Sam Hyde doesn't have, like, he thought Sam Hyde had a drug-addicted girlfriend.
This is where we're going with this. He's talking about, now we're in the post-irony, we're talking about, like, using irony as, like, a shield for, like, what you believe. But what he's not telling you is that he's got a shield up too. Like, and because his crowd fucking doesn't know anything about Sam Hyde. Like 2/3 of them probably have no fucking idea. This might be their first exposure to him. I feel like that might be the case. And
Items like 65 here.
so he gets to frame it completely in his light, but his audience is a bunch of boomers with no.
Dude, well, I destroyed
and
a
no
few
real
of his
beliefs.
I destroyed a few of his followers in the comment section.
Got him.
Nice.
Well, just when they were like, he edited parts out of the fucking interview, and they're like, no, he didn't. I was like, yeah, they did. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Pile of shit.
There's a
in front of
reason
me,
I wanna get
wouldn't
to the end of
devour
this
it like
shit.
an animal instantly. I wouldn't be doing that. This is probably the most popular form of irony in the modern generation. They're basically parodies of memes. So you have to already know what irony is to appreciate or begin to appreciate post-ironic humor. And look, there's no more room on the circle, so we must be done. What the fuck is that? Meta-irony is where this gets fucked. This is where you're saying something sincere, but the context could imply that you're saying it ironically, yet the thing that you're saying is actually a sincere thought. If this doesn't make sense, that's because it doesn't make any sense. It's meant to confuse you. Meta-irony.
And now I think that's all we need. And the thing is, he's not necessarily wrong about that, but he's not acknowledging that we live in a fucking dystopian hellscape,
Right.
where you have to use some fucking
Meta-irony.
some mask.
You have to use meta-irony to say something.
Well, it doesn't have to be meta-irony. You can also go
Right.
with the mask of, oh, I agree with everything in the system, and I'm not saying anything controversial. That too is a
I
bullshit
love the
mask.
IRS. I love the IRS.
So, I don't know, but the point I want to make here, and we got to it fucking way past its due date, but I do think that he's right about meta-irony right there. He's right about Sam Hyde using it as a shield, and he's right that we all have to use it now, and it's a fucking sick, sad world.
Well, I don't think he says that. I think he's like shitting on the idea.
No, I get you, but I think he makes
He
his point.
understands
That
it.
He makes for me, I see the reality, and the reality is that we've all got some bullshit grift going on.
Right,
Some
but
more than
he's
others.
like, why didn't the guy who's meta-ironic come down to earth to me and tell me all the cool things I wanted to hear?
Yeah, that was
That's,
stupid. And it's very stupid to be able to get got by something like that and to not be able to pull out. Like, are you a content creator? You couldn't turn that into anything?
Also,
You couldn't go with that?
Right, he had to literally
fucking-
deconstruct it.
This is just like a fucking brain dead room temperature IQ version of the J-Reg video about post irony and meta-irony.
That's what I heard. I don't watch any of that guy's stuff, so I don't know.
He's funny. You should check him out.
Idubbbs
He's pretty good, actually.
Mosley Wave in the chat says,
Either-
Idubbbs explained his shield in the sparring session. I don't want to hit Sam hard because I feel like it'll give him permission to hit me back very hard. I guess that is kind of symbolic, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if you up the ante too far, you might wind up flipping a fucking sports car on the fucking freeway. But is that a bad thing? Like, that's got view. Yeah, you get views for days on that. It's gonna go great. Yeah. You hear that fucking another Epstein associate got
Hanged.
suicided?
Fidel got
Suicided?
blown
How do I
out.
say this? He was
Yeah,
in
the
prison.
weird French dude.
Yeah, I don't even remember his name. It wasn't significant.
Some sort of modeling agent, allegedly.
Ryan Dawson
Rants,
out
yeah.
here cheering,
Weird
crying
stuff.
in happiness.
And I wish that the Epstein stuff could still interest me. Once again, the fact that we could all agree for a few months that the country was run by pedophiles sickens me to say. And then just forget about it after he's fucking suicided. Yeah, no hope. No hope for anybody.
When I found out this guy fucking, quote, hung himself, or I'm sorry, they haven't determined it's a suicide, but, all evidence points to a suicide.
That's another
of course.
fucking moonsault off the fucking top bunk.
Yeah, it's a fucking swan time.
Once on bum top punk.
Oh man, but I
Did a
I looked at my
450.
mic, and I'm like, they're gonna keep getting away with it. Nobody cares. This guy just got killed. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. And the people who give a fuck, it don't matter. We don't actually matter.
And this
in
is
the
after
law.
Ghislaine Maxwell fucking said that she wasn't going to stop anybody from like digging more into the records. Like, she's not going to obstruct that in any way. And nobody wants to go after it. It sure doesn't look like anybody gives a shit. They're not going to actually do it. It's a sad state of affairs. And then people look at truckers in Canada and they're like, it's going to happen this time. Something's going to happen. And nothing fucking happens. And it's like, dude, we knew pedophiles were running the government. We did nothing.
We didn't do anything. We're too comfortable. I mean, did you do anything, Like,
But
no,
they're
exactly.
bro. Dude, they're hypocritical. It's my favorite point out.
Who's
calling
that?
them hypocrites.
Who?
Oh, just calling like the people who are against anything or against the truckers in Canada, calling them people who are calling them out are being hypocrites, obviously, right?
Well, what happened with the truckers? I heard today that everybody was big disappointed. Did anything
I
occur?
think they brought
big
in
disappointed because they're
one of our
Canadian.
scabs.
Yeah, fucking. Well, and it just shows you like the need for like a new monetary system when like they can just freeze your bank and take away all your funds.
Well, I think they
That's in
started
Canada, it
bringing
ain't
in
here, but
Toby-
it could be here.
They started bringing
It already
in
is
people who are
here.
towing people, but they're like wearing ski masks and like covering their business.
She's smacking your lips for over there, Greasy.
Sorry.
Sickening.
He
Pissing.
be greasy though.
I got a new Chris Chan letter. Should I read a Chris Chan letter to get us going?
Nice.
Jesus Western
Do it in-
Train, Jesus Christine Western Train, aren't you? Hey Kenneth, firstly, so you know, that was Angelica Rose to herself, not I, nor any pretending or falseness or lie. You have received a letter that was directly written by her, and she has asked you kindly not to upload her letter online. We found that you had uploaded her letter, Kenneth. She has really felt betrayed when you did that, and Angelica Rose True does not take betrayal lightly. And thus, with her goddess abilities, she has struck divine retribution upon you. That really awful day, you had short after uploading her letter when you were not supposed to. You brought her divine wrath against yourself when you did that. So Chris Chan is pissed off that Kenneth Engelhart is leaking the letters onto Kiwi Farms as he's been doing the entire time. Still, Chris Chan keeps sending letters with incriminating information about the sweet spiritual movements that he had with his mother, Barbara.
Oh my god.
Alluding to them, never saying it directly, but definitely admitting that he sent money from like one account to another when there was a no contact order. Upload this letter and you betray me, Kenneth, and I shall not be restrained as she was said on the first time offense. You are on thin ice with us, Kenneth, but we have plans with you. We do not want to have to drop you as an apostle of mine over repeated betrayals.
Apostle?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that all of these people in Chris Chan's life are like a mirror of like a character in the life of Jesus. Like
Nice.
Null from Kiwi Farms, Josh Moon, he was Judas.
Pontius Pilate? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Judas in my mind.
Betrayed him by telling the cops that he was taking money out of his mother's account. And then the question has often come up, and that's why I'm reading this actually, is who is Barbara? And it's been seen that maybe she is the Mother Mary. Like that would make sense, right?
I was gonna say God, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but we'll see what we have to say about that. To make clear with everyone, I've decided never ever said and never felt my mom, Barbara Ann Weston Chandler Rosetrue, was a god of any sort, nor is she Emmanuel or even Virgin Mary reincarnated. If anything, Barbara is the reincarnation of Merlin the magician. She's Merlin, dog. She is
What
a
the
wizard.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Got those magic powers, dog.
But Emmanuel, God above, was my father when I was born in Bethlehem over 2,022 years ago. Emmanuel has to change her gender to female and physicality to form over a century ago. Emmanuel
You're a
planted
wizard,
an ovum.
Barb.
Wait, Barb's,
From
hold
her-
on, Barb's trans?
From
Change your gender?
from her ovary into Barbara's ovary to attract me from my forward and back trip through time after what happened with me in 1389 when the universe was divided into my second physical birth on February 24th, 1982 into this immortal body of mine. With that, Emmanuel is my mother. I still am half Sonichu, but physically, due to my trip through my apex of the chaotic rainbow of 2003 between Sonichu Prime and Rosie Rose Chu Prime.
That was
is
very
amazing.
chaotic.
It's the chaos
Knuckles
stones, dude.
chaotics.
Remember, Emmanuel herself can change into physical form in any creature, including Sonichu form. Yet Arceus, the first main one, was manifested with a piece of her. So is Arceus above Jehovah? How do the gods stack up with? Oh god! Now back to Barbara, because Arceus has to be like Sonichu god, because Arceus created all Pokemon, and Sonichu is a Pokemon in Quickie lore. All right, everyone agrees.
Yes.
Now back to Barbara. I've extended her life, but she has recently felt lethargic, and I am concerned.
God.
My mother is dying.
He needs to use her when he gets out of jail, so he needs her to live. Yeah.
Can we send Christian some chaos? Thinks that he can break out.
I've always been concerned of this
It's
possibility
prison.
from her present human form's ability. I've been praying to my ally gods, as well as continuing to work hard, thorough, and consistently out of body and through my body as the conduit it is, for her and everyone, until the divine event my body is presently at this time writing this letter, still in the jail building, and the gods and I can only do so much for our respective areas and abilities for Barbara. Oh, this is fucking my voice up hard. I think everybody gets the idea. The fucking letters aren't changing too much over time. But we are getting more intense lore. And I'll tell you this. If Christian should be happy that he's stuck in that cell with nothing but ramen noodles and a Bible. Because if he was out living on the streets, as he just might be, things would be a lot more fucking chaotic. We would talk about chaos. What is going to happen to that dude? Sorry, state of affairs. You ain't going home to fuck your mom. Sorry, brother. The Temple of Sonichu, not your house anymore.
I mean, it genuinely depends. He might be able to go home and fuck his mom. Like
He might. I wouldn't totally write it off.
If the courts don't deem her as a protected person, like if she doesn't have dementia or not diagnosed with dementia or whatever, then it's very possible. And I would assume that because I don't know incest laws, but like I feel like it's possible that he could go home unless like somebody's.
Well, can they prove? Did they do a rape kit? I forgot.
They did a rape kit.
Oh fuck! Never
But,
mind.
We don't know what
she was raped.
We don't know any of this. We don't know what was said behind closed doors when
Was
push came to
his
shove.
cum found inside of her? Like, indefinitely?
No. Not necessarily. We don't know. We
don't know.
We never got the results.
Trial hasn't happened.
Who's
When the
watching?
trial
once
happens,
again,
it'll all be public record.
It has been, I forget what the word is. It's been pushed off until fucking like July. So by the time that the trial happens again, he will have been in jail for almost a year. And I think this is part of the plan, once again, is to give him time served.
Yeah, that's
You already did a year, so you'll have to do a few more months, and then you'll get out. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a very good deal. I'll take that.
I think Christian loves jail, dude.
He doesn't realize he loves jail. He's writing letters to President Joe Biden to get him out of jail. He doesn't realize it. He thinks he's going to go home and stay with his mom. And like Senor said, that might happen, but I don't really expect that.
Can we send Joe Biden the Chaos Emerald?
Joe Biden. You can't do that. Once he collects all 7 of them, the world ends. Joe Biden.
Hunter Biden adopts Christian.
Hunter Biden ex-Christian.
I'll tell you. Louis Theroux out there doing documentaries on like Baked Alaska and Nick Fuentes, but he should do one on Christian. That's what I want to see. And expose Christian as the violent extremist that he is. How do you guys feel for all internet shenanigans being now Baked Alaska and Nick Fuentes are like the spokespeople for it? Everything that's happened, like they are now the leaders of the internet dissidents. Is that a good place to be?
I always felt
Fan.
Nick was a friggin' drifter. I don't know.
Well, he clearly is. That's how he presents himself. He wanted to be picked up by Fox News or some shit like that. I don't know what his end goal would be.
Did you guys watch the doc?
No, I mean I saw clips of it. Clips of
man, watch it, dude. I have to say, like, Beardson Beardley will never recover from that. He looks like a fucking tool. He's 5'2", and there was a quote that came out after the doc about like how Louis said like, and he told me to leave his house. Now I almost thought to myself to say to him, "What are you gonna do about it?" He was very small. The only like Nick looks like a bit like autistic. Baked looked terrible at first, but like the first episode of the 3-part series ends with just Baked like destroying Louis to his face, and Louis like it's like I can understand why he didn't like cut it, because obviously it's gonna come out, but like, oh bro, leaving that in.
Baked is an interesting case because he's got like no credibility to lose whatsoever.
No,
So,
he's nothing to lose.
All he has to do is sit there and be himself, and he's getting the exposure. It only benefits him. It's an interesting case because he is sitting there being a cringe little bastard. Like he's just so fucking cringe.
He's just a little dude. He's just a fucking psychopath. And like, I left that documentary experience being like, wow, Beardson Beardly is an irrelevant faggot. Nick Fuentes is a grifter. I kind of want to hang out with Baked Alaska now. It seems like a good time. That was my takeaway from that doc, dude.
Hanging out with Baked Alaska does not seem like a good time at all. I watched the videos. Dude. I got enough.
I like a little bit of chaos in my life. I don't like people who don't do nothing.
Controlled chaos.
I don't like people who don't do nothing.
Baked Alaska is going to get my fucking head caved in. I don't want to do that.
I won't be there to watch.
I'm not doing that. We can move on.
Coward.
Do we have more to say about any of this fucking Louis Theroux shit? I'm just glad I've been calling that guy a tool for a long time. He always rubbed me the wrong way. Such a fucking dork. Anyway.
It's actually wild because like I always thought he was a very reasonable guy, but like his entire thing with this one is just him like acting like he's like his anus hurts every time they say something like that's really not that offensive.
Yep. Okay. Well, Chad, let's move on to some real life experiences. You saw a fucking UFO. Jesus Christ. Is that one of the stories?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yes. I sent that picture on the Fediverse. No, it was I was driving down the highway, not gonna say where. And I was near a gas station.
Can you say what kind of general region of the country? Maybe we can guess.
Yeah, I say the state.
Maybe we can guess.
I mean, my state, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas. And so I'm driving. You can tell by my retarded southern accent. But besides that, we were driving down the highway, and we stopped at a gas station because I wanted to go take a piss and get energy drink. And I look up, and it's like right over the gas station. And my first thing is like, well, it's, like people on the internet say it's kind of a trapezoid shape, and it's got 2 vertical light bars going through it. So I took out my phone and zoomed it in and tried to get the best angle I could on it. And I took the picture. And at that point, I kind of felt like, yeah, I don't want to sit here with this thing over my truck or whatever. So I drove on. And we went probably about a mile down the road, up on a hill, because I wanted to see if I could still see it. And it had moved like way off past the river, and it was almost gone. It had just decided to move 10 miles in like a second. But the first picture, I was right pretty much underneath. And all I can say is it looked like a metal trapezoid that had 2 vertical bars of light on it, and you can see it if you pull up the picture.
Where is that picture? I don't know where that is to pull it up.
I sent it to you on the Fediverse.
Send it again.
And,
is it? Did you send it to me recently? Did you send it to me just now? Or is it?
Hang on, I probably can send it to you. I can post it in Bar and Grill.
Yeah, drop it. Drop that.
Yeah,
picture. Definitely.
Yeah. 1 second.
The more of the evidence, the photographs, the video I have, the more satiated I become. And at the same time, it's like I've seen some weird shit in the sky, but it's like I am just not a man who knows what the fuck I'm looking at. And I feel like most of the time, like I've been high on mushrooms out in the woods, and fucking suddenly there's a drone like buzzing right over my head in the middle of the night, and that's some weird shit. It makes you think things, but like I don't know what all drones look like in the distance or whatever. Like, could be all sorts of weird shit. And that's what they said. The one thing we showed the video of the 2 Black Hawk helicopters escorting a UFO allegedly. We showed that a few weeks ago. And in the middle, what they're escorting is just a ball of light. and I saw Snopes had debunked it, and they said that it was just a third helicopter that was showing a spotlight towards the ground, and the angle was perfect, that it just looked like a ball of light. Do we trust Snopes for our UFO sightings? Do we, folks?
Probably not, because Snoops is like. I posted it in the bar group. Snoops is like it, and Snoops like two certain ethno group people in New York
Maybe.
in like one apartment.
Maybe they are. I do have some videos though of some balls of light, some more of those UFOs. And it's the weirdest thing. Like when I'm late at night, like I'll hear some shit flying over my house, and I definitely want to be looking at some shit. And I saw in the distance there was like this light coming towards me. As it got closer, it wasn't like anything I had seen because it was just a constant white light. Then I start seeing like lights flashing on the side, and even though it didn't really look like an airplane, like pretty sure it was some explainable bullshit. And I've been out in the cornfields with like some schizo motherfuckers who were saying there's like translucent pyramids in the sky parked over us, and that like weird shit. One motherfucker who would claim every fucking plane that went overhead was a UFO. Then you had like actual military jets doing like some fucking sonic boom shit, breaking the sound barrier. Very cool.
Well, the weird thing was, the week after, I noticed there was a lot more like air activity from Chinook helicopters and fighter jets. I couldn't see what they were. Way more activity than that. So maybe, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but...
You got that picture? Shit, let me grab that. That's fucking cool.
Yeah,
man.
I put it in Barn Grill.
Yeah, I remember seeing this now. This was a very good image. I want to get this up for chat. Yeah, it's these orbs. These are things that are becoming very common. And I think when you see it on like Tucker Carlson, you see these metallic orbs. Like maybe that's exactly what this is. I posit that that's all military shit. Flies into the ocean, right into the underground military bases. I got no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I think it's probably experimental tech, but I do believe, I kind of think, the Navy guy, whatever his name was talking about the underground bases and stuff. I think he's right that they get technology based on how many humans they let them harvest and stuff. And I think that's why you have like these technological jumps at certain points.
Yeah, I mean, but then you can take it further back into like Mesopotamia and like Sumeria. How did civilization get jump started there? And a lot of people say that's because of alien technology or whatever. And then they compare that to the Book of Enoch, and you're right back at demons all over again.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I think like there's maybe a more religious and possibly scientific explanation for like what's going on with the aliens, but I think there's more beings than just angels and demons too. Although I'm trying to be an Orthodox Christian, I'm not super good at it, but yeah.
I just think there's many classes of beings that could come from all sorts of planes of existence that could be said to be demons. And it's not a specific term, but these are definitely things that are here. They're kind of invading our space. They probably shouldn't be here. And like I said, everything they say is a lie. That would make them demons, even though maybe there's all sorts of specific things from specific planes of existence, dimensions, planets, whatever the fuck you believe.
It goes to like the uncanny valley thing. Or, if you look at like a gray alien or friggin', what Kay would describe as like a skinwalker, but it's really more like indigo. But you describe those things like humans have this innate fear of slender, pale, eyeless like beings or dark-eyed beings, and that's like maybe because of like interaction with stuff like that thousands of years ago.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm very fucking stoned and I keep losing my place.
Same here.
I want to refer back to Billy Meyer. Do you remember talking about Billy Meyer last week? Where the fuck was he from? Was he from Switzerland? Is that what you said? He was Swiss? Because I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
Switzerland. Yeah,
I'm glad somebody
and he was
remembers.
missing like half an arm.
Yeah, he's missing his arm, and he was in contact with the Pleiadians, and they had their own alien Jesus. And it seems like every time you bring up one of these alien races, they've got their own version of the gospel. What we didn't say last week was that Billy Meyer has his own Bible. He rewrote the Bible with, I guess, these contacts with the Pleiadians. It is called
That's fucking weird.
the Talmud of Jemanuel.
Oh.
Like Emmanuel, but with a J. And I don't know, I don't think you're supposed to say the J, but I don't know why it has a J if I'm not supposed to say it. So I'm going to go on and call it the Talmud of Jemanuel, which is basically the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might be the hubcap and fishing line.
I
Dude.
love the Talmud.
One problem I have with it is that I feel guilty reading it. It's one of those things, like, I don't like reading fiction. If I'm reading fiction, I feel like I'm wasting my time. When I'm reading the Talmud of Jemanuel, I feel like I'm reading absolute fucking bullshit, and it's something I just shouldn't be doing with my life. I'd rather be doing drugs.
But you say that. Speaking of drugs, the friggin' dreams people have. Like when I had that reaction to like way too much Delta 8. They talk about the Palladians appearing in the dreams, and I didn't know about that until like I started looking into it after that episode like a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of like weirded out. I was like, "Whoa, did that happen?" And I was like, "I think no, it's probably I just dreamed it," but still friggin' weird incidents.
So you would contact with the Pleiadian female spirit while you were high as shit on Delta 8. Is that what you were telling me?
Yeah. And so
I ate too many gummies, right? I'm halfway there right now, I'll tell you that. Oh, god damn. Let me fucking read about the Talmud of Jemanuel a little bit. I'm sure everybody's very interested in this. The discovery of the Talmud. In 1963, a Swiss-born man named Edward Albert Meyer, who the world now knows as Billy Meyer, and his ex-Greek Orthodox priest, friend Isa Rishad, took an afternoon walk along a roadway a little to the south of the old city of Jerusalem. And during that afternoon walk, Albert Meyer happened to glance upwards and spied a small opening in the ground that took his interest. Finding himself curious, Albert Meyer took a torchlight from his backpack and examined the opening, which was found to continue inwards. And so Albert and his friend Isa Rashid dug out enough of the surrounding earth to allow them to gain entrance to some sort of chamber. What they both found after crawling inside was an old tomb in a state of disrepair and half filled with earth. However, after clearing more of the soil away, Albert Meyer and Isa Rashid discovered a package beneath a flat rock, which they took back to Isa Rashid's home to examine. The package was said to be about 60 centimeters long and 25 centimeters wide, and was found to hold 4 separate rolls of Aramaic writings, which took the name of the Talmud of Jemanuel. I don't get the fucking Jemanuel thing, because I always heard that, like we use the name Joshua, and that is from the Hebrew Yeshua, which was like Jesus' name, and like the prophet, like Joshua in the Bible, that was the same name. And the J is like a Latinization or whatever you want to say, and that didn't exist in their language. So now they're just slapping a J on the front of Emmanuel, and it's like, how can this be real? How can that make sense? Have I just not looked into it hard enough?
It's probably
yeah.
Chinese.
I don't know about the Swiss guy.
You don't realize that Jesus is Mexican. Jesus is Mexican.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think
Jesus.
about that. Yeah, then you don't even use. There's no reason for a J. Throw that thing the fuck out. Luckily, Isa Rashid had some Palestinian background in his family, and so he found he could read the old Aramaic text. I wonder if it works that way. And the first thing that Isa Rashid...
think that's a load of shit.
Yeah, that might be total fucking crap, actually. And the first thing that Isa Rashid noticed...
the language is going to change.
Yeah. Was that the title page showed that Judas Iscarioth, as it said, had authored this collection of spiritual knowledges on behalf of his teacher and guide, who is named Jemanuel. Isa Rashid also noted extraterrestrial links within the Talmud, as it was made clear that the real father of the biblical Adam was named Semjasa. Semjasa? It's pronouncing one J, I gotta pronounce all the J's. It was a distant traveler from the far reaches of mankind's universe, and an aid to El, or God. It became very clear to both Issa Rashid and Albert Meyer that this collection of ancient scrolls, much like the Book of Enoch and other so-called apocryphal writings, was going to be considered heretical because of its content, which strongly contradicted the popular biblical teachings of the latter-day established churches. Not only were extraterrestrial links presented in the Talmud, but it was also made clear that Judas Iscariot was actually the friend, student, and official scribe recorder of the Master Emmanuel. The scrolls also stated that Judas Iscariot never did spite his friend and teacher Emmanuel in the run-up to the biblical crucifixion event, as the real culprit of that venomous act was a man named Judah Ihariot. Oh God! Who was the son of Simeon, the Pharisee. So, yeah, this is just exactly what they say it is, heretical fucking crap.
Yeah, that's
would you believe that aliens gave this to him? Is that part at least believable?
I mean, why would they? If you abducted something that was lesser, that you believed was lesser, like let's say you like picked up a rat, right? Would you give that rat the Bible?
Well, it's been said, Maud would say this, that if they are demons, you kind of, like a vampire, you have to let them in. You have to give them permission to do their thing. And so they would have to tell lies to get close to you, to make you believe them, so that when they offer something, you have to bite.
Funny enough that you say that. My buddy Zane, he's rest in peace. He died a few years ago.
Yeah.
Heroin overdose. It happens. But one time we saw some, the strange lights in the sky. Right. We were out when I lived in a trailer park, and it could have been anything. It could have been meth fumes. Who knows? But we saw some strange lights in the sky, and he dropped down on his knees and started screaming, "Take me! Take me!" They took him. They had to do it through heroin. We always wanted to do like a cartoon where like aliens abduct you, but they're like sitting in the back of your car with a roll of duct tape. Like you get in your car and you get the duct tape unwrap, and it's a gray.
Yeah, that's dank, bro. That's fucking dank. Where was I? Should I read more about this Billy Meyer crap? Here, one thing is that he claimed to go back in time to meet Jesus. He did all sorts of shit. He saw dinosaurs, allegedly. That's all I want out of life, is to see dinosaurs. You can call me a happy man at this point. Dude, that's all I want. Even a thylacine would be nice. But yeah, he did claim time travel and all of that crap. We can go over his feelings on Bigfoot. I do have that on hand. This is Billy's question to the aliens. My next question, Yeti, Bigfoot, and Sasquatch. These are three beings of which there is talk over and over again. For quite some time, there's particularly been talk about this Sasquatch being in Florida's swamps in the Everglades. Again and again, people appear in public who claim they would have observed such prehistoric human beings. Can one believe these statements? And this is Ptah's answer. I don't know. Ptah is a fucking Palladian, I can tell you that. Some statements are actually true. Others are based on deceit. And still others are based on making oneself important or on simple fibbings. Nevertheless, there is no doubt that these beings still actually exist. Billy, you've clarified this? Ptah. It wouldn't be right to say that there is no doubt in the existence of the beings if we didn't have exact knowledge in this regard. So, here's from another contact report. They created mutated beings, each according to their own race, as well as variously completely new forms of life. Those which were dwarf-like stature, gigantic, and the animal-like beings. So what it's implying here is that Bigfoot is like a genetic hybrid of humans and apes or something like that. An experiment of a previous alien race that came here and fucked around. And that's what it goes on. I actually have a whole list of alien races and other humanoid-type creatures, according to them. We do have the humanoids. They are human beings in the same form which Plejaran and Earth human beings, as well as many Plejaran Federation allies are. The Federation, however, has other life forms which cannot be defined as humanoid in this same sense, and are completely different, but nevertheless consciously capable of evolution and culturally developed in terms of technique and languages, like the humanoids are in this Federation. So the alien alliance that is trying to get us to disarm all of our nukes and all of our weapons, they are mostly humanoid in appearance, and it seems like I don't know, but there's like a lot of thoughts. Like, does nature prefer that form? Is that what it would trend towards? Like, does it trend towards, upright posture, opposable thumbs? I don't know, yada yada. And I guess in this sense, like, that would be a very common thing. We go on to amphibioids. Are in terms of human life forms of a mixed hybrid human and aquatic animal nature, which can live both in water and on land. A climatic situation that is particularly sodden and heavily waterlogged to the point of saturation. Asina, for example, and her folk are among those of speciation. So this is a whole lot of fucking schizo talk, literally going on about frog people. And at this point, it starts to seem like it's fucking like Warhammer. We do have the reptiloids.
Does it have any relation to Loveland Frogman?
It might. Like that's the thing, is that a lot of this shit, you can apply this to cryptids. And I'm literally at the Future of Mankind wiki, which is, I guess, all about the Pleiadian encounters or whatever the fuck. I've been on many wikis like this for weird cults, weird beliefs, and usually they do tie all of the cryptids together. They make sure to do that. We have the reptiloids, a human life form of mixed hybrid human and reptilian form. Their bodies strongly covered with scaling of a reptilian lizard. According to Contact Report, yada yada, there is no truth to the reptilian conspiracy theory peddled by David Icke. So it's like, literally, reptilians are real, but don't believe David Icke. They're the good guys. The reptilians are the good guys. Always trust David Icke. That's our takeaway from this. You have the insectoids. I think these are the ones you see on the Fourth Plateau DXM trips. Drink that NyQuil, y'all. Human life forms of mixed hybrid human and insect-like hexapod invertebrate form. Their skin showing chitin quality. Chitin, is that how you say it? Characteristics typical to crustaceans. The fucking crab people. Sauroids. Human life forms of mixed human and sauropod-like dinosaur... Wait a second. Mixed human and sauropod-like lizard-hipped form. So lizard-hipped is like not what dinosaurs are. Dinosaurs have their legs like directly under them, where lizards are sprawled out. So that's not even a dinosaur technically. It says it has skin similar to that of an elephant or a brontosaurus. It's a lizard. It's a fucking giant goddamn lizard. Primatoids, human life forms of mixed human and primate type quality form with a properly hairy body, but in a much stronger form than the terrestrial Neanderthal taxonomy of humanoid or Earth human being is. They are more comparable to the Bigfoot or Sasquatch, but were not genetically modified like those rare species on Earth were. So now this is like ape people that live out in the star system and are collaborating to fucking denuclearize us and take over the goddamn world. I'm trying to read this like a fucking sane person, but the fact of the matter is, it reads like it's a schizo fucking ramblings, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of...
If the grammar's all fucked up, I have no idea what's going on here, but this is where I thrive. Condicoids. In terms of human life form, actually humanoid for all intents and purposes, but with the ability to move by levitation, like those ones that were seen sitting on the roof of the cult building. I guess that is some fucking building that Billy Meyer frequented. So they have people with magic powers now. They've the fucking ascended masters appearing to them. Pteropoids, human life forms with human and bird-like body features, a longer neck, aerodynamic face, and beak-like mouth, exactly like a Tangata Manu. Fuck. Easter Island related, they are the cherubim. Fuck, bird people.
That's a weird connection.
It is. Would you fuck the bird person? Cloaca? It's got the fucking cloaca. I'd probably fuck the bird person. If I fuck all those Pokemon, I'd fuck a bird person. Nothing weird about that. Hydroids. Human life forms with human and fish-like bodies, whose life-sustaining element consists of a watery full submersion, but which can leave this environment for longer or shorter periods of time. That sounds like a smooth creature.
Like a mermaid, yeah.
Yeah, so, once again,
some shit, yeah.
Smash. Thermoids. In terms of shape, humanoid life forms with a human quality body. whose life-sustaining climatic range is hot, scorching areas, with what would be very extremely high temperatures compared to Earth comprehensions of what can be sustained by a human life form. So this is just fucking nonsense at this point. We got the frigoroids. The frigoroids are informed humanoid life forms with human bodies whose life-sustaining climatic elements is very cold, freezing temperatures. Aeroids who fucking subsist on poison gases and toxic atmospheres. I guess they'd be inhabiting the fucking gaseous giants and shit.
Yeah,
This is
like
all crap.
Saturn or Jupiter. Yeah.
Let's move on to the fucking
Hey, which one has the
centauroids.
gas?
What's that?
Which one has the gas? Jupiter or is it Saturn?
Oh, dude, it's all
I don't
bullshit. It's all
know.
NASA lies anyway. It doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of it. Havelock in the chat wants to know if aliens are ghosts. Ancient Kitty in the chat. Fuck. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Angry white guy over there. Billie Eilish is a cryptid. Look up NASA. Dig Dougie Dig Dug says, look up NASA. I did once. It was the worst mistake of my life. Never Google NASA. That's based. Where the fuck are we? Should I keep fucking rattling off random human-like species in the galaxy? This is all fucking crap. This is
Please,
just
I need more humanoids in my life.
pure humanoids. Well, the centauroids is another smash, so I'll read that one. Life forms with partly human and partly equine bodily features, similar to the centaur minotaur body type. A contact report says that the myth was a birth defect, like Joseph Carey Merrick's. Nothing to do with centauroids. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, help me out, senor. Give me a hot take.
On centaurs?
Yeah, dude, you got a hot take on centaurs? I need one right now to make my life complete.
Well, speaking of centaurs, like I've heard that the Greeks, they kind of based them on the interactions they had with the Scythians, because the Scythians were so talented with horse archery. The Greeks thought they must be like half human, half horse.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
And that's,
that the Scythians were like fucking horses, and like the Greeks are like, yeah, that
I
makes
mean,
sense. How would I mean, what else would it do? Like,
technically,
to birth.
technically, all Indo-European religions had something like that at one point. There's a
Well,
guy that
you
does
gotta drink the
documentaries.
horse cum.
Yeah. No, yeah, like the king had to fuck one, literally.
In front of the court?
He had to Mr. Hands
Or,
his
I
way
think in
through
front of
that
the
thing.
people. No, like the other way, and then the horse was slaughtered, and then they all ate the horse. So, that was in India. That's what.
The horse was slaughtered?
Yeah, afterwards.
Oh, afterwards.
Yes.
Kill the horse, then we fuck
I
it.
understand some Indian bestiality, but when it comes to necrophiliatic, is that how you would say that? Necrophiliac? When you're fucking a dead horse, like is that worse than kicking the dead horse or whatever?
I think so. I'm absolutely disgusted by all of this.
But yeah, so and then they would eat the horse for some reason. So that's the take is that.
Based.
Yeah.
Chad, did you
I think
have
the Greeks, to be honest, the Greeks probably were fucking horses, but who knows?
I mean, why weren't they? Like, why wouldn't they?
Chad, didn't you have a Skinwalker sighting? Am I imagining that?
Well, yes, that's the other green text, but I didn't see it. That's the thing. I never saw what I was deep.
Give me
I
this
just heard
story
and smelled it.
too. We got to get this in.
All right, you want me to say it? I'll pull the green text up 1 second.
Yeah.
So, do you think
Yeah,
I've told this story before, but at my bachelor party about a year ago, me and my buddies were all tripping on acid, and this little Asian kid, probably about 5 years old, popped into our campsite. Do you guys think that was actually a skinwalker trying to get us to trust it by thinking it was a little Korean kid?
The kid from The Grudge, did it make like a cat noise?
Jesus.
No, he just waved at it.
That's even
And
creepier if you think about it.
Everybody saw him. It wasn't a hallucination. I'm sure he had little Korean parents somewhere.
I've never seen a Korean while I was camping. Not once.
It was at a tourist destination, like relative.
I don't think I've ever seen a person.
It was at a spring. We have a lot of springs here in Florida. It was at one of the springs.
Boost.
But no, here it is. So Green Texas, basically, I was hunting on some area I hunt at about 40 miles from me. It's northern Texas. So I'm hunting with open-sided Gasser 10, and that is a AK variant, which is an excellent cartridge for the boars around here. So it's about 30 meters to me. There's a feeder that puts out corn. They eat, and it's getting dark. So I'm watching some pigs eat on the corn, and I want to shoot one of them, but they all of a sudden get spooked, and I kind of think it's my fault at first. I moved too quick, or they smelled me or something. But after a while, it kind of got very quiet. Like all of a sudden, there's no noise. And if you hear like the missing 411 shit that I talk about, they're in the woods and it goes completely silent.
Yeah.
Like you could like crunch a leaf. That's all you hear.
You hear it in Bigfoot sightings. You hear it in like ghost encounters. You hear it in like fairy accounts. It's all over the place.
So at this point, I'm kind of a little weirded out by it, but I'm not scared or anything. Kind of thinking that maybe it's still me at the time, and then it screamed at me. And the way I would describe it is the old COD zombies. Like if you remember some of the noises they would make, kind of like that, but through a really shitty amplifier or speaker, and very mechanical almost. And then at this point, I'm not feeling real good about the situation, so I'm going to make a decision. Do I want to climb down and leave, or do I just want to stay up 12 feet up in a tree? And something inside me was telling me if I get down the tree, something bad will happen, and it's best to just stay. So then the smell kind of hits me. And if you've ever worked at like a wage slaving job where you're handling a lot of change and your hands get that real kind of grubby metallic smell.
Smell of copper.
It smelled like that.
Of blood.
Yeah, copper.
Yeah, like
or zinc, whatever the coins are made of. But it smelled real like strong. Like almost to the point where it's like an onion, like burning your eyes.
Oh.
And at this point, something is in the brush about 35 meters in front of me, and it's moving back and forth. And the best I could tell, it was roughly 6 to 7 feet tall, and the stride was vaguely human-like, but it had a long stride, whatever it was, because you could hear the trees rustling, and you could see where it was moving. And at this point, I have the gun up, and I'm like about to shit myself because I'm terrified. I don't know what's going on. And then finally it just goes. And everything goes back to normal. The birds come back and the smell goes away. And I feel a lot better. Like it's almost like a presence is gone, if I had to describe it. Like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. And then I text my dad about like whatever, something happened. And he just figured I encountered a big cat, a mountain lion, because they do make horrible noises, but after listening to a bunch of lion screams, it's not a lion. It doesn't sound anything like it.
Yeah, there's a few things that stand out there. The smell is one. You hear that in many encounters, even UFO encounters. You have different smells like sulfur, like you say, something so strong like onions that it makes your eyes water. Yeah, you hear a lot of that stuff, but then the mechanical sound is an interesting one because you have the missing 411 stories about the mechanical grandma. You have the same thing, and it's even like it's made into creepypastas with like something that'll mimic the human form and call your name out in the woods and try to draw you into it so it can kill you. And then like that even works in like the Blair Witch Project. That even worked. Like when they made that, they used a shitty little boombox to play like the children laughing, and it gave it a whole other creepy quality to it. Like there's something very, very real about that.
And I have a friend that's from Minnesota, and he says he had that happen to him in Minnesota with the voice. yelling at his name. And he said it was oddly enough in his dad's voice. And his dad at the time was like 2,000 miles away, a truck driving job. So that was strange for him. But I've heard that before. Yeah, the voice changing shit. That didn't happen to me. God, I wouldn't go back there at all. Hey, Jesus.
Well, the true scariest thing in the woods, like as far as most people are concerned, would be getting lost. When you're so deep in there, you don't know where you're going, everything starts to look the same, and you start to fucking panic. That is like the true fear in the woods that you can go out and experience fucking right now, without a doubt. But then when you add on top of that something inhuman that's drawing you out further and further to a hope that doesn't exist, like that's true terror. That's like a lot of my favorite fucking movies are about that. Basically,
there was one missing 411 thing where the dude was a firefighter in like Seattle, and he took his like 16-year-old son out, and they got lost or whatever, and it was like a week in the woods. This is like in the winter, so they're about to freeze to death or whatever, and then he thinks he sees headlights in the distance, so he's excited because he thinks he's found the road. So he runs out there, and the headlights just move every time he gets close to them. They move off further.
Yeah.
And then he realizes whatever it is fake. And he goes back and his son's gone. And his son's like dead at the end of a cliff, like 300 meters away. And that was a weird one. Like something had picked him up and then threw him off the cliff while his dad was distracted by the lights moving.
Yeah, and that's another thing you hear is the orbs in the woods all the time. Flame comes on and talks about what shit he's seen like that. And like then you see these UFO videos of just like balls of light. Let's see if I can pull some up right now if I have this ready to go. Let's give it a shot. Either way, we're gonna watch these fucking UFO videos, but let's get this fucking dickhead off the screen.
Everybody on the island is looking up at this, and nobody can figure it out what it is. It's not a star.
It's a swimming pool he's focused on.
Weather balloon.
It's not a swimming pool.
Just kidding.
Don't tell lies. Don't go on my stream and tell lies. This is in Hawaii. And it's not very impressive. Like, that could be like I don't know, maybe a planet is visible on that day. But, like, from their perspective, that's moving. And I have more video to back this up as well. Let's finish this off.
Well, who knows how long it's been there, right?
Everybody just start looking at it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the local had some theories, but...
What did they think?
Some piece of fucking bullshit in the sky. All it is a white light.
Richard Southern joins us to chat about...
I didn't watch this. Let's do this one after.
So my thing about that light is I've been like a little drunk and high at the same time.
Yeah.
And like swearing to my wife we're on vacation. I'm like, no. She was just telling me the other day, like, I don't know if I want to get drunk for Valentine's Day because you'll start talking about aliens. Yeah, the light in the sky. Like, yeah, that fucking light was moving around. So I have both a sky map and an air traffic radar because I want to know if it's the feds or a celestial.
I want to know what the fuck they doing up there.
Yeah, I just want to know. And I didn't have it at that time, so I don't know what that one was. But I would bet that whatever he's looking at is the same thing, whatever it is. Probably he's just a little bit high and drunk. He is Hawaiian. Pretty sure they huff a lot of gas. I don't know about that. I know they get a lot of raw fish from gas stations. So, you know, like it could be affecting how he looks at the sky. And it didn't look like it moved to me, really. It looks like he's moving.
All right, well, that's why I want to move on to this next one. This is from a trucker in New Jersey.
Quick chat afterwards.
Marty, this is what I'm recording. I pulled over on the side of the highway. You can see me on the side of the highway right now.
Hey, yo, I'm on the highest side of the highway right now.
He's on the Jersey Turnpike.
I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm zooming in on it right now. This is not an airplane.
Now, this one actually looks like it's moving to me, and it's very subtle, and he's moving the fucking camera around a lot, but I feel like I do sense movement from this one.
Even if it's not,
there's no marker
way too
lights
bright
on
to
it.
be a celestial body.
Yeah. He's saying it's basically hovering.
It's not a star. It's not
I mean, yeah.
So, well, I want to spell it out to people who are listening. This is what we're seeing is like more of these lights in the sky. It's these fucking balls of light. It was the same thing, like I said, with the helicopters escorting the ball of light. You have these ball of light sightings. It's just like the orbs that were on like Tucker Carlson, the fucking metallic orbs, just like what Bill Cooper was saying. These are becoming more common. And it seems like it's possible that these are the anti-gravity devices, the ones that warp space and time around them. It doesn't use like a standard propulsion method. And these are the things that fly directly into the ocean, moving the ocean out of the way to go into the fucking underground bases. I think that's quite possible. And now we don't really have a scale. We don't know how big these things are. But I do think that's the stuff that's proliferating. This is the soft disclosure.
They don't necessarily have to be that big to be bright.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
They could be like little two-man, little guys. They could be two little guys in.
And the video, I wish I kept it. The video with the Blackhawks, the escorting the thing, that was obviously not very big because you had scale. You could see it next to the helicopters, and you have a general idea how big they are. So it wasn't that big, but it was just this ball of light.
Now, do you think the luminosity comes from what they use for fuel? Do you think it comes from their enlightened souls because they're, they're the real boot?
I think they're capable of displaying whatever light they want. I think that's a very simple thing. Yeah, I think there's some high-tech LED shit happening here or something like that. I think displaying whatever patterns of light they want to do is probably very easy, and they do it for many different reasons. I don't know why they show this shit off to people. I don't know why that happens, but it seems like it's something that does occur. And even from the stories, like assuming aliens are real, where they're like contacting the government, like they're not just contacting random jerk-offs in those stories, generally speaking.
Yeah, no, they have an agenda.
Yeah, they show up to specific kinds of people. They don't just fucking show up on the highway with this truck and there's some goddamn lights over here in the goddamn sky. No idea what this shit is. Never seen nothing like this in my life.
The Tucker Carlson thing's got to be soft disclosure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but that's
any other reason.
And that's what Bill Cooper was saying, was that these were the ships that the Navy operated. Like they knew about them, they used them, and it was like pretty regular knowledge. And like when people saw them who weren't necessarily supposed to see them, they'd be kind of threatened. It was like, what did you see? And you're supposed to say nothing. And if you answered, you would get fucking reprimanded. And then they'd ask you again until you figured out you're supposed to say nothing. I saw nothing.
As they're asking you repeatedly, they're just beating you and hooking up car batteries to your nips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my dad was on submarines and shit, and I'm always like, so really? Like, I want to be like, are you going to hit an age where you reach non-disclosure? Like, you can tell me? Because my dad was in the Navy, and he was on ships and submarines for a long time. He's like, I never saw nothing. But he knows who Bill Cooper is. And he's like, well, there's a lot of those fucking Navy guys.
Did you see rock apes in Vietnam? That's the real
experience. I don't know.
That's what I want.
Before we go on, I was just going to say the culture I got from my father was like, if you say shit, you're a weirdo, and then you get I mean, that's obvious, but like even amongst like enlisted men, like you don't talk. If you saw something, you don't like make a It's like gay to make a big deal out of yourself, being like, I saw this, and it's like, shut up, nobody cares, Like it's a culture of snuffing within the ranks before it even gets to somebody saying something to somebody. They're just like, no, you didn't see nothing. Shut the fuck up. Like, quit being a fag. That's how it seemed with my dad. But
yeah, no, that's exactly it. Is that you get straight up berated for talking about stuff you're not supposed to, for talking out of turn at all.
Right.
They probably beat your ass in a fucking different age.
Southern joins us to chat about.
Erica, I want to show you this. It's another UFO video that's been making the rounds. This is
okay. Before we even,
show you this.
Does this guy have fucking Down syndrome?
No.
I mean, he looks like he has Down syndrome more than that.
Kind of does look like a potato.
More than that new Victoria's Secret model for sure.
Looks like he has Downs, but he does.
he just got that.
Maybe he's just Irish.
He doesn't have an excuse for looking like that.
Another
Smash
He's an
or
Irish
pass on
German,
the
let's
on
go.
the raw
Smash,
potato
smash.
lunch.
This it appeared on social
No,
media.
he's 100%
US
pure
military
Anglo
pilot who was flying over the South China
Bobo
Sea.
from Opie and Anthony.
Filmed on the 24th of November. It just came out last week. Pilot was at 39,000, not far off the coast of Hong Kong, when he's seen this out the window.
This is quite a
fucking drones, bro.
I'd
They're
shoot
just
some machine gun
drones.
fire at it just to see what the fuck.
That's a fucking quite the beautiful display to see over the clouds. These lights fucking disappearing gradually into them, and realigning.
They're just regular old citizen drones, buddy.
Is that what they are?
No. It's just what
I don't know
they're gonna-
anything about
people
drones.
call them that. That's what they always call them. Anytime you see shit that looks exactly like that, the news is like, well, there was a drone expedition or exhibition. Or, what do you mean? No, that wasn't fucking drones. That was aliens. Come on now. There's no drones up above
I just
the
feel
fucking
like somebody who's within like the high tech, like whatever, like we don't talk about this, is getting reprimanded for fucking up right now.
Probably anally
Like,
raped.
that's just shit technology we don't talk about.
Let's let these idiots talk. Let's see if they have anything good to say. I want to let this fucking 6 out of 10 GF talk.
Santa Claus getting ready to go on
Perhaps.
his
Santa
yeah,
time.
a little test run. Yeah, it is very strange, and that's very clear video.
Chad,
So
Santa Claus
interesting.
believer.
Okay, the Golden Globe nominations were
Okay,
announced-
we're done with the aliens. Apparently, look at this, my face when in this fucking Down
Golden
syndrome.
Globe. Let these experts talk. 2
That's the
seconds
fucking
later.
Loveland frog.
My face for the alien.
They got me. They got me again.
Got
The
him.
experts
fucking-
were talking.
Got you.
What
Good,
city
buddy.
is this in? What city's news is this? That is the Loveland Frog Band. That's gotta be.
Oh my god. The guy's name is Humongous. Humongous. His name is Huey.
While researching my books, I've personally investigated hundreds of abduction cases, but one man's story truly haunts me. His name is Jesse Long. He claims to have been abducted many times since he was a boy, and the abductions he describes are terrifying. If what Jesse tells me is true, then there is a very surprising future in store for all of us.
You guys ready for Ghost Future?
I'm a hook
Rape,
line
rape,
center.
rape.
Wait till you hear him talk. I got glasses like that, mustache like that. He's got the whole look is down to a T.
Jesse, when do you first recall
That's the
being
drip.
Oh god, he's shape shifting.
abducted?
My first abduction occurred in 1957 when I was 5 years old
Oh no!
in Rogersville, Tennessee, a very small town in Upper East Tennessee. My brother John was with me at the time.
Can I just say his voice? Narcissism. factor, like,
brother John was with me at the time.
Yeah, he sounds like a fucking narcissist retard.
Hold on,
I
listen to
don't
his
like-
story. It gets better. It gets
Yeah,
better.
sorry.
I love
Up the hill behind our
Child reenactments. And I don't know if this is gonna take me down from fucking YouTube or whatever. Like, this is some TV show shit, but I'm using it. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit about anything.
house. We came up on what appeared to be a round house under construction. And one man, a taller looking figure, he had a long rod in his hand. A light was
rod
emitted
time.
from it and we were paralyzed.
This music is very.
Dude, this is a very sentimental video, and you guys are
They
acting
could be
like
using,
assholes.
like,
You're
very
pretending this
dark
isn't.
music. Like imagine
alien
if it was
fight
like.
scene.
They were something
It is at this point that Jesse Long's conscious memory of what happened ends. He says it's only through hypnosis
Watch this,
that he's
watch
been
this.
able to remember the rest of this first abduction. What you are seeing is actual footage of Jesse undergoing hypnotic regression.
Nightmare. Let's get a rewind.
I mean,
on
No, I
I've
wanna listen to this.
ejaculated. I've ejaculated in my sleep. A lot.
just like
What's the meme scream? I don't know.
Get
What
that
we talking
catfish. Is that a catfish pillow on his head?
about? Catfish.
What is-
Let's get a replay on this. Let's pay close attention this time.
He says it's only through hypnosis that he's been able to remember the rest of this first abduction. What you are seeing is actual footage of Jesse undergoing hypnotic regression.
You will not be.
I love his Joker laugh.
What
I
gets
love that
me
he's
is
getting
that there's a woman
hypnotically.
taking care of him, and I think this guy.
Oh, did the aliens break him? Or?
Yeah,
I
they
think he's
broke him.
trying to get sympathy clout from his female
From his
taker.
nurse.
He's simping on her.
I don't know. I'm not trying to like hit this on this whole like alien thing, but
Anal
like,
probe.
Nurse caretaker.
Touch my penis, please.
That was all I watched of this video. Should we go on? I didn't watch it.
I think this man got probed. Oh god.
I remember him being taken
this
into
guy's
the
a
crowd,
phony.
taken into one room. I was placed on a very cold.
This is just
flat
like when I
table.
did DXM.
My brother was separated and he was taken into another room.
yeah, you were both raped. I get it.
Was this in like Harvey Weinstein's backyard or something?
Dude, I love these alien costumes. I bet this shit would cost $100 now.
They were doing something down to my legs. I could feel them poking and prodding around
Arians.
my legs.
They're probably telling you to quit yelling gay shit.
Look at like I've never seen it.
Freaked me out as a child.
I've never seen a kid with such a fucking punchable face.
That's anti-white.
He's already yelled, anal probe me.
I hate young, happy black and white children. That's what I say.
This kid
He's
went
a
on to be a
happy kid.
molester. He became a molester. He had to end the cycle that the
What are
aliens
you
started.
talking about? This is a little kid.
That's him.
I know, but fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
I'd punch this guy. I'd punch this guy at any age. I don't discriminate.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know.
You gotta save him. I could save him. I could
According
save
to
him.
Jesse, his abductors inserted a small item, an alien implant, into his left shin.
And it was in my body for 34 years.
Small item.
Could you feel it inside you? What did it feel like?
It was always painful. I always had to wear my socks below the incision point.
That's how you know they're a pedo. They got their socks low,
In
low socks.
1991, Jesse had
I
the
got a
foreign
cock
object
below
from
my
his
knee.
leg.
There it is.
This
I've got a
was
cock.
live footage
Big
of that
pants to
procedure.
hide the tracking monitor.
Oh, they took it out. So what did they do with that?
They used it like a Voltorb.
This is the object that was in my leg. And unfortunately, during the initial test that was done on it, it was broken into two pieces. But that allowed us to look at the inside.
You think the FBI would let you
Some
have that?
dismissed the object as simply
Did I get
part
to
of
take it
glass.
home in a
It
jar?
was analyzed at Southwest
Yeah,
Research
are
Institute.
you
If it comes out of my
fucking
body,
kidding
it's
me?
my
Facility
property.
in Texas. The conclusions suggested a greater mystery.
Thanks for the.
According to the lab's report, the object revealed a very remarkable composition and exhibited
carbon fiber.
unique surface characteristics that cannot be explained, and that the questions outnumber the answers.
Jesus.
He tripped
When the
and got
object
a.
was removed, I was convinced that whatever this object was,
He was in a
something to do with all
K-hole.
my
He got a
abductions.
piece of shard in his leg.
Jesse Long believes he has experienced a number of abductions since that first incident in
I just keep
1957,
getting raped.
and they became more and more horrific as he grew into an adult.
Jesus.
Most of my abductions occurred very similarly. When they brought me to the craft, they would
up
take
the
me down a
chute.
long hallway.
This dude's gay.
Why can't TV be like this
Flat
anymore?
table.
This production value, this is amazing.
Of course, I was
Phenomenal.
paralyzed. Kicking and screaming, I didn't
They're
want to
putting
be
their hands over his face.
Is that a hairy bod? Fish hooking them while they probe
experiments
them.
on the table.
Yeah.
This is what a
Smile, baby.
like.
This film extracts
Smile. I'm gonna
the
put my
secret
hand
of
on your
the most
face.
traumatic and has caused me the most problems. In that they actually force me to crossbreed with what seems to be a female.
They make me have sex with a woman.
Oh my god.
Nice.
They forced me to have sex with a woman.
I came. That's why I'm gay. I'm telling you, he's gay. He's a fag. He's gay
those
as
people
fuck.
tend to be the people who are boundary deficit disorder. They have problems with relationships.
Boundary
They always
deficit
say,
disorder? Yeah, I
"I've always
dated a
felt
girl
Yeah,
like
he's
that
gay.
once.
He's
I don't
gay.
feel like I belong.
Alien.
They can't hold
Of course he's
jobs.
gay.
He's deficit of
They just have a
boundaries.
tough time in life.
Boundaries in his-
And telling this
The
person
alien
who's
pussy
been
turned
lost and
sideways.
outside and alone that they do belong, that they're an abductee, that they have an identity, and that there are other people just like them, answers all of those
Is this
questions.
some LGBT stuff where you
Jesse,
add more letters?
When you tell people about
Yeah,
your
this is all
experiences,
just-
do they believe you?
You know, it's not my
Yeah,
job
is there an A
to
for
convince
alien
anybody.
Yes.
It's my
getting
job
fucked
just
by
to
aliens?
tell you what I've experienced. If you believe it, fine. If you don't believe it, I don't care.
You don't
This is
care. He'll
evidence
dox
that can't be
you.
ignored. And the story just gets more and more disturbing.
If you say anything against my story, I'll dox you and kill your family.
In 1990, may answer the question that
1990?
hangs over every
Back in the
abduction
good
account.
old days.
Why is this being done?
What were you doing on this day in 1990?
I was driving from California to New Orleans, and right outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico,
They
on
raped
I-40,
me.
my car was lifted off the interstate up into a craft with me in the car.
It's because you consensually had sex with an alien, dude. It's like a shotgun wedding.
Never
I was
consent.
presented with
He's He's got a shotgun wedding to attend.
This is your child.
This is your baby. He's got a little mustache and glasses. It's my face when.
MFW.
What happened then?
And there were 9
Now you gotta pay some child support to
Look
the
at the face.
standing along the wall.
Look at those babies.
They all looked at me, and I could see, yes, they were mine. Each of the children who were standing along the
This
wall
is just an elaborate story,
walked
just
up to
that
me
he's not.
lying on the table, and they each touched my hand as they walked by
They're
and looked me straight in
delusions
the
of
eyes.
grandeur.
And they walked on out of the room. And
Crazy.
the message I was getting from them was, we're okay. Thank you.
If you could confront your abductors, what would you say to them?
If I could sit
you.
down with one of them right
you for
now,
taking my
I'd ask
babies.
them one question.
I want my kids dead.
What custody would you argue for?
I'd pay child support.
We
I
have
feel obligated.
thousands and
Would you
thousands
pay it in
and
US
thousands
dollars
of
or-
people coming forward with
Yeah,
these cases.
I just
Not
throw
only
money
around
into
countries,
the
but around
sky
the world
every.
as well.
Yeah, throw a dollar into a
I throw
cloud.
a quarter of my
Explosive
income
issue
into
of
the
hybrids.
sky every month just
The
to feel
crossbreeding
good.
of aliens with humans. Stories like Jesse Long's
Nice.
are only the beginning.
I think we are looking
Now I
at a
know what
catastrophic
book I'm gonna
situation. I
read.
think we are looking at a disaster.
Looks like Don
We
Care.
are seeing a unified program here with these beings. A program of physiological exploitation by one
Stop
species of
it!
another.
They don't cut people's faces and like molest
I know
them.
this sounds absolutely insane.
Yes, they do.
We're looking at a colonization program in some way.
Whoa.
We got colonization, folks.
Nice.
Real colonization. Now let's break up the monotony a little bit. Do we have any other theories on aliens? Do we have any more hot takes? I don't
Yeah, they're gay, dude. They're homosexual beings.
Aliens are gay, dude.
Aliens are just time.
They ask me to suck them off, and I tell them no every night.
And they're
Is
coming.
there any other like Palladian stuff
They just
besides the Meyer dude that seems like he's fake?
Bringers of the Dawn. It's a book. We've talked about it before, and you can find the audiobook on YouTube. Bringers of the Dawn is a channeled work from the Pleiades, and it's got a lot more stuff like that. It does talk about reptilians. It doesn't fall totally in line with the Meyer stuff. But it's
I don't
very-
mean for my shit talking to like condescend anybody's actual experience. You know.
No, everybody's decided that fucking aliens are demons and all demons are gay. There's
Yeah.
nothing controversial about that.
I mean, demons are gay. So.
Yeah.
Area 51 was a portal.
Yeah. Yeah. So check out Bringers of the Dawn if you want more Pleiadian stuff. The audiobook will make you want to tear your eyes out, but maybe that's part of the experience.
Nice.
I mean, audiobooks are for fags.
I love audiobooks because there's some books that I just don't want to waste my time reading. I'd rather hear it while I'm driving or fucking around in Photoshop or doing anything else. Some books are just not worth my time reading, but I don't mind listening to it.
I was waiting for you to say working. I swear to God.
No. I'm good on that. Let's break up the monotony and watch some Tila Tequila.
Yeah.
You guys like this dress that Jesus bought her?
Oh, she's so fucking hot.
I know, dude. Nice. Filling out nicely.
Fucking love
She
Tila.
looks like a Mongolian warlord.
Like, I think she is way ahead of her time.
Are we sure that Tila Tequila did not come from Outworld? She was not shouting at her.
Oh, dude, look at her go. She is a prophet of our time. Well, she says she's part of Jesus SS, and this is the uniform that Jesus bought her.
She's Jesus' wife. She's God's wife.
It's true.
This is fire. This is a fire video.
I know,
She's
it's
a
really
fucking
good.
babe, dude. You can see her nipples through the fucking... Alright, that's when it gets rough.
I like listening to her bark shit out.
I just take out the glove. Anyway, so here's a update from your SS Lord.
She literally sounds like an
Heaven's
autistic.
Army. The kill count today is 6 billion.
You're so funny, girl. I love her.
I wanted to actually update you. This happened a little while ago. I didn't say anything, but I gotta tell the goodness of the Lord.
She still talks like a nigger,
even
though.
when I didn't know what was going on.
God damn it.
The Lord has been faithful to me, but let's give it up for a minute
Nigga.
for the Lord. Look at this SS
Looks pretty fire.
officer from Heaven's Army uniform that the Lord has decked me out with. So bossy, because only can you be an SS from Heaven's Army. Are you allowed to declare, decree things as I do, and it shall be established. So when I say my enemies will be decapitated, and all of Heaven's Army, all of SS Heaven's Army is released from the storehouses, from Heaven's throne room, from the courts of heaven, and they come out and they target you and get you sprayed up. The way you try to do to us. Now we're back to the sender, 1,000-fold strength in the name of Jesus.
Hell yeah.
So, let me
No, when she starts fucking
Honestly.
rattling off verses and shit, she sounds awesome. I love that. I'm in love with it.
She reminds me of Amanda Bynes, but like
That's
with
not
less
good.
clout.
I think this.
Well, I'm just saying, Amanda Bynes tried to do this. I think
we should start the cult. Yakov will be your charismatic leader.
No, Tila is the leader.
love her, dude.
And
I
Jesus
fucking love
her.
Oh
Tila.
god, she shaped the thing. She shaped the thing. Oh my god.
Reptilians.
I'm the only bride of Jesus Christ.
Turn her up.
See all the news, how all the fake
I was letting you guys
queens
talk.
getting plunged to their deaths. The reason
Got
why
him.
she was on a high building is because God was saying they thought they were queens. In the Bible, it literally says a verse about them, these counterfeit harlots who claim to be me. All the proud and haughty, women, the haughty women of Zion, right? So they exalted themselves on a high building. They sat in my seat while I was willing to surrender.
Can't wait for her to
I was like Joseph in prison.
read Let Them Look West. Or not Let Them Look West, but Journey to the West.
On a building. So God said, what says you exalt yourself so high?
I want to read Journey to the West. I want to fucking read that on here. Is it worth it?
I've never read it. I'm reading Musashi right now.
Dragon Ball, I think, is based on Journey to the West.
Yeah, yep. It's Monkey King.
Dude,
It's like a demon and a monk go into the West.
fucking Tila's fucking setup is so weird. Her mic is so fucking weird. You keep hearing like ambient noise around her when she slaps. It sounds really close. I keep thinking the fucking feds are breaking into my house.
She's just using her phone, bro.
Yeah, there's a few YouTubers that do that. I'll be like, have to rip my headset off.
I'm getting super paranoid.
I can't shoot
Max is eating way more cat
There's
poop.
another time when, you know, I had this friend. I thought he was my friend from ancient times ago, and I was fasting for him. You know, I heard all these things that happened.
Her nipples, dude. Why is she so horny right now?
But this was back
Just can't get enough of it. I don't know if other people appreciate
she's
this like I do.
She's a Full Metal Alchemist. Nipples hard right now.
Full Metal Alchemist character.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you, and I prayed for his speedy healing.
She's dressed like Chun-Li, bro.
I want to know, because she's literally saying that Jesus himself is like buying these outfits for her and shit. Like, what does that mean? Who is Jesus?
Literally a man named Jesus.
Some dude's dick she's sucking, dude. She talks like a fucking groid. A dumb groid. It's my best way of putting it.
You literally died at the
She literally it does hand. Like, you think Jesus likes.
Yes.
Like is a Negro that moves their hands around like a fucking retard? Shut the fuck up, dumb bitch.
He made a whip of cords.
Yeah, I talk like a Negro, so yeah, I'm like Jesus, you know what I'm saying? One time, Jesus, you know.
Know what I'm saying, cuz?
Yeah, shit, Jesus loved me.
Yeah.
Their eyeballs will fall out of their heads and their tongues will fall out of their mouths.
Got they eyeballs.
And their skin will rot off
Yes.
even as they stand.
Got
And
they
the Lord
balls.
revealed to me that it was because he himself, who I thought was my friend, he was doing.
She looks like a boss character in the video.
Yeah, I know. She looks like M. Bison.
Loves her.
Yeah. Looks like M. Bison.
G. Bison over here.
She's hemorrhaging money paying people for this shit. These costumes.
This is one of those like
10 people watch this, not including us in the chat.
So I wanted to come in here and tell you the testimony.
This is great.
SS Army of Heaven has done to my enemies.
Oh, the SS Army of Heaven? Alright, base.
I thought that was some fucking guerrilla fucking group that used children as soldiers in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Now it's back to you.
Well, yeah.
Jesus, and he will not stop this.
She needs a salute.
Yeah,
she has.
I need a salute.
She has. You can find the videos, I'm sure.
All these years I was a slave.
We should start calling it the
All these
Superman
years.
month.
That to see. Okay, like let's give them
Because it's
time.
the
She is like, I remember when I was in her stage when I first became black/red pilled.
So you think God,
Like,
my husband's
when you
gonna
first became
Jews.
die for you?
Well, she's been on this for a long time. She's been on this kick for a very long time.
How long? 2 years?
No, since like 2015 at least.
What?
Yeah.
They don't know how to quietly accept them.
That's why all your family members dead. Oh, speaking of that,
shit.
Got
family
'em.
members died because of what they did to me.
Oh, no.
What they did, they dropped dead. And
I feel like we could get Tila Tequila a GCW contract.
The Lord's
Get her signed to fight Matt Hart.
She killed your family.
Hell yeah, dude.
Don't let her kill my
I don't know if they got
family.
evicted, or they just moved on out of here. But regardless, you can't run from me because you have already been
Jesus Christ, cut such a fire promo.
for destruction and his wrath. You will not escape.
She is
You will
so
not
insane.
Whatever, but the angelic essence.
I'm righteous, but I'm gonna talk about all these petty things for a minute.
At double or
So
nothing.
is she like Ashley, but with money?
Oh,
Yeah, she's. Ashley makes more sense than her.
Was the best
Teala's
one.
awesome.
We honestly need Tony Khan to get her a contract.
I just want her on here. Like, she doesn't have many subs. She doesn't have many views.
needs to be
I
on
get
the
more
show.
than she does. I feel
She's
like I
doing
want
it
her
for the
on
love.
here. I tried. I sent the email.
I would
I'll try again.
love for her to be on the show.
I know, dude. We'd get along great, man. You'd slide into her DMs in Discord.
How many
I'd probably have sex with her. Sorry, guys.
how,
I would send her a picture of my tiny wiener and go, "Come at me, babe."
Look at this. Look at
your
this.
little diglet?
Yeah. and say,
Indiana sausage.
"You are the conduit for which God will strike me," and then she'll have sex with me. As it was.
So shall it be written, so shall it be done.
Make it so. Have sex with me. With your tiny I used to fucking masturbate to her when I was like fucking like 12, dude. 13. I'm not even kidding. Tila was making porn on LimeWire when I was fucking like 13.
LimeWire Tila Tequila?
Yeah, dude. That's how I knew about her. Tila knew it, or whatever the fuck.
Flame is here. What's up, dude?
Hello.
I'll let it be known to everybody who's watching this. I'm basically all aliened out. I got all the alien content out of my system, basically, and I feel like you can write that off.
Alien content is just so hard to do because it's like
I know. So, I feel like I did all
much of it is like
so debunkable and stupid.
I feel like I did. Well, when you watch one alien video, you've seen them all. What up, Flame?
I don't mean that as an insult.
I'm with you.
I take that personally, dude. You just shat on my existence.
I hope the alien.
Flame is the biggest. He's the biggest.
I hope
proponent.
that alien kisses you on the cheek when he fucks you.
He's the biggest proponent of aliens are demons in the call, and everybody's on board with it. Nobody's disagreeing, but he's the.
I am.
No, Flame.
Oh, dude, I've always said that. What are you talking about?
I know. But
I don't exist.
He said it the most.
I forget
That's
I don't
true.
exist.
Greasy doesn't exist.
Yeah, I forget anything. My only. Yeah. Anyway.
He's too busy playing Valorant.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking
Flame. You smoking a blunt? What is that?
It's a blunt,
you don't have a
Flame that has passed you the booth. Will you accept?
I've been on the fucking nicotine lozenges. I think I'll hit one up right now. We get the strong ones. We break pieces off of them so I don't fucking waste all my money and get too fucking addicted.
That is the gayest story I've ever heard in
I don't
my
care,
life.
dude. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna smoke less. I'm gonna inhale less things, less metals in my lungs. All right. Well, Flame, you're just in time to do some fucking reptilian shit. We got a video we can watch. It'll milk a little bit more time.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
hit it up. Just finished with Tila Tequila. Unfortunately, you missed her and her spicy nips.
Yeah, she's got a fire out.
Ready for some classic David Icke material? An interview with Arizona Wilder.
It's quite horrific, but if we don't know about it, what can we do to stop it and to change it? I spoke to
This motherfucker doesn't
Arizona
age.
Wilder in Los Angeles, and this...
He's a
Because he
reptilian.
looked like shit when he was 20. That's why he doesn't age.
Arizona, can we start at the beginning?
Don't laugh at my jokes. Fuck
Tell
you,
us the
faggots.
story of what's happened in your life from the very start.
Okay, what I can tell you is that before I started looking into my life, back in 1989, I was starting to have flashes of things.
I looked into my own life.
My life was not what it seemed to be, which is why I started looking into it. The Aryans, and
goddamn,
and the purity of the blood,
Aryans.
and what it's all about is that the blood and the menstrual blood contains something that is important for
I'm fapping.
the propagation of this race that is controlling things on this planet. They're called the Illuminati, and the Illuminati are actually run by these 13 bloodlines, which are all of the royal families in Europe and in England, and they need the blood because they are, in fact, not human. They take human shape. They are reptilians, and they need the blood. The blood helps them maintain their reptilian shape.
So that takes us back to Phil Schneider. I guess we are doing a little more alien shit. Previously talking about how he was talking about adrenochrome is what he was saying, but he was way before his time, way before people were talking about adrenochrome. Like, we've all heard of it now. It was cutting edge shit back in the 90s when he was talking about it, but he was saying that they needed it like a drug. And here she is talking once again about the blood. And it's never about the blood. Even when she's talking about the rituals, it's about getting them into a state of panic and fear, the victims, the sacrificed victims, so that the blood was full of the adrenaline or the adrenochrome. And like that, so she's saying that's what they use to take the form of humans and hold it. And I've often heard it said that like if a shapeshifter was around a woman who is menstruating, that they, like the smell of blood will get them excited. They'll like lose their form.
I have a question. Have you ever heard of how?
I would like to contrast that to like humans though, but like you think if there was a human that couldn't like do the same thing, you know, like if you could like torture like a cocaine plant a little bit more before and then get a little bit higher, I guess. I don't know.
I have no goddamn idea
What are you talking about?
Do you know about Isaac
we're all
blood.
Never mind.
Senor.
Does anybody know about Isaac Newton?
Yeah, they do that with
harvesting
everything,
prostitutes'
dude.
Menstrual blood.
I don't know anything about menstrual blood. That threw me off completely.
Isaac,
saying you
hold up, senor, get it out, please. Let's do this.
Isaac Newton would apparently pay prostitutes for their menstrual blood, and I'm wondering if he knew something about the reptilians. Like, hey, we got this prostitute menstrual blood; it makes them go wild, lose their shape. And he knew early; he was fucking with space early, so maybe he was buying that and experimenting with it. He said it had magical properties. But like maybe it was the properties of making these shapeshifters, you know, fucking break.
Maybe he knew about adrenochrome. Maybe he knew about the psychedelic experience.
I wouldn't
calm it.
Isaac Newton, he's a very interesting guy.
He probably didn't know about the molecule adrenochrome, but he knew that there was something there.
Maybe he did. Maybe that's right. Who the fuck knows? And no, Isaac Newton's he's like a lot of his works on like metaphysics and God are very interesting. Like he was very into trying to like date the return of Christ and all of that. So he was a faithful observer. Some people, I don't know, a lot of people disparage him, saying he was gay or whatever. Maybe that's true. I don't know. Yeah, he's just an incel.
A weird virgin. I think he was a Volcel.
Volcel. Damn, dude. Wizard status.
Yeah, that's why he needed the menstrual blood from the prostitute.
What the fuck is menstrual blood?
That's period blood. That is
menstrual blood. I keep saying menstrual because I'm retarded and fucking stoned.
You don't know what menstrual blood is?
It's the fucking shedding of an egg.
Oh man, I'm way too high to be fucking streaming right now. I didn't know what menstrual blood is. I've been mispronouncing it for a fucking while.
Delta 8 slaps.
Dude, I ate too many fucking edibles.
He ate too many CBD.
Oh, you mean the ones that don't work, dude?
They're working, brother. They're working.
Fire.
And it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world. But what they need is, for it to be secreted in the blood, is they need terrorization of their victims. Before they are
it's just a harvesting method, is what I'm trying to say.
Blood. And they have to terrorize them to get this to come out in the blood and be secreted in the blood. They are killed at that moment as they are staring into their eyes, and not only do they can't hold their shape when this happens. The
human shape.
The human shape they cannot hold. They go back into reptilian shape as this is happening because it's like an animalistic.
I think when they feast, they go into reptilian shape.
Excitement. Oftentimes, they can't. They will just rip into the victim and eviscerate them and start. Eating the flesh of this person too, and the fat from the intestinal area.
So
what about the intestinal area? Sorry.
I know about.
You know what's kind of weird about that?
She mentioned the flesh, eating of the flesh. The Aztecs, they had rituals of eating of the flesh. Not only did they like just sacrifice and pull the heart out, there were specific rituals that they would practice, and that was ritualistic cannibalism and drinking of the blood.
Well,
and that was
they were known for their royalty having all sorts of like reptile motifs going on. Like they would have like jewelry that was like scales, and you know everybody knows like the reptile symbolism. There's statues all around the temples and everything.
Yeah, but aren't we talking about like aren't we talking about like aliens?
Well, not really. This actually isn't about aliens. David Icke's thing was never aliens, or it might have been briefly, but he went interdimensional.
My bad.
Did he?
Yeah, I thought we were talking about like alien shit. But
He would sometimes dabble.
I mean,
in the
it is
alien stuff,
obviously right.
These
reptiles
are
are not from our Earth.
These are talking about interdimensionals.
I got you.
Is highly valued as they use it on their skin. And they will drink, and they drink the blood, and the blood is highly sought after, and it goes according also to rank within these creatures.
Why it's increased since the ages?
So there are changes going on in the earth. It seems they're not able to hold their shape like they once were able to, and people see them shapeshift more and more, and they need the blood to try and maintain it, to try and maintain their human form. I believe there's a time coming that because of what I've been told, when they are not going to bother having to hold that human shape as they had to before, and they want that time to come. It's then about 4,000 years ago, the reptilians arrived here and again began to take over.
What does she mean by this?
I don't think that's ever clarified, but she is talking about Aryan blood and the purity of blood and how that's connected to... But she is talking about, I guess, like the conflict between Aryan people and reptilians, and the reptilians consuming the blood of like the fairest of the Aryans and stuff. I don't know.
Isn't the Palladian stuff supposed to be associated with Aryans? Because they're like the big white, tall,
you could say that.
Nordic.
You could say that probably about a lot of different contacts, and I don't know. And I wonder if these things can kind of display whatever form they want. I guess that's where the reptilian shapeshifter thing comes in, is that you don't know what you're talking to.
I mean, it is strange. Like if you think about it, what's weird is the Indo-European language goes from friggin' India to England to most of the Americas. Like 75% of the friggin' world speaks it. So
it's interesting that you say that. There is like a seeking of bloodlines going on. She's saying that what Yakov said earlier was the seeking of the Aryans and consuming what you would probably think would be their purity. We have this another concept going on throughout not just only the Aryans, but through aristocrats of Native Americans, of South American, like the Mayans and Incan higher class. They were absorbed into the aristocracy in Europe, and it's said that the Illuminati were seeking out these individuals because these were the people that were closest to the spiritual rites and magics of their people. And by gaining their blood, they'll be able to gain access to that magic.
Based.
And they instilled themselves in different places underground in the earth, and also this one part of them, the ruling part, took over and became involved in the politics and in the religion, and started controlling through these means at that point in time. Reptilian that come from another dimension, they actually they materialize from out of another dimension and are present at rituals, and they are so powerful, and their presence is there's such an evilness about them, and they want out of this other dimension. Old ones are called out, and they are what Christianity would have called the demons.
Anybody have takes?
They're all demons.
They're all fucking
They're all
demons.
demons,
They
yeah.
shouldn't be here. We
They're
gotta go.
demons.
They have to go back.
Yeah, they're fucking spiritual immigrants. Get them the fuck out of
They
here.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, what about seraphim?
Well, I mean, biblically
Why-
speaking, that's clearly an angel. It's made clear in the text, I should say.
You think the
Yeah.
Palladians like have anything to do with angels?
The angel, I don't personally, because they keep giving other takes of Jesus that seem frickin' goddamn stupid, and I hate that shit. I think angels are first of all, they're things that are supposed to be here. So I don't think, and the Bible doesn't ever imply that they have like minds of their own, wills of their own. Their will is the will of God. So like they wouldn't come through and try to make deals, and they come. The angel means messenger, so they come to deliver God's message, to make God's will happen, and then leave. Like they're never here just hanging around for no reason. I don't think they have wills. They're not trying to make deals. Yeah, I think angels are a totally different thing, whatever they are.
Is this symbolism of the abyss anything to do with the fact that these reptilian demons of another dimension are somehow locked in a time-space prison, and they can't get out, and they can only get out when they're brought out in that way?
Yes, they want out of that dimension. They have been thrown into that dimension, and they can't leave that dimension. And that's actually what the abyss is about, is being in a different dimension. It's like something to do with the fourth dimension.
So take us through one of these rituals that you conducted at the highest level of this global brotherhood. What would happen?
And then they have these children that they're kidnapping and bringing in from other countries, and no one misses them because these are third world countries. And children they have the most energy, the purest energy, they're the highest form of sacrifice. They are used as actual blood sacrifices during these rituals because of, again, reptilians needing their blood. The blood will be gathered in a goblet, and it will be dispersed among the reptilians.
Are these rituals rare? I mean, how many are there that, say, go on a year? We
There is
hundreds or thousands?
There are things happening every month of the year.
What happens on the night of Halloween?
That night is about the worship and homage to Satan, the great deceiver Satan, on that night, on Halloween, at this church.
I hate Halloween.
Conducted them in
All my
Europe
homies hate
and
Halloween.
United States. Can we start with the United States?
Sucks.
Yes, I have seen
I mean, the
at
Tinder
rituals. I
bots
have
have
seen
mostly
George
ruined it.
Bush. I have seen
TikTok, damn.
Madeleine Albright. I have seen Henry Kissinger. I have seen Ronald Reagan. And I have also, by the way, seen his wife, Nancy Reagan. I have seen Hillary Clinton before I knew she was Hillary Clinton.
Shut it down!
At the time, at these rituals, she is involved. The other people that I have named and are, as I have seen shapeshift into reptilians. J. Rockefeller, and he shapeshifts. These people seem
Just
to
one
all
name?
be
This
connected
thing sucks.
to the
Get her off the
Illuminati.
screen.
Gerald Ford, I have seen shapeshift. Dr. Joseph Mengele, who took me around to these rituals
Whoa.
a lot of the time.
So she was a mind control sex slave of Dr. Mengele. I forgot that part of all this.
I believe her.
The sissy hypno GF.
This is it. GF.
I don't know. I don't really trust these
Binaural
figures.
beats.
The shoulders are a little too broad. I don't know. The hair's not working for me. There's something wrong with this face.
Maybe she's
Early
she's
90s,
a
no
reptilian
style.
Was also a shapeshifter.
We're all
There are people in the European countries that I've seen shapeshift and be involved. The Queen there, I've seen Princess Margaret there, I've seen Charles there, and they shapeshift. I have seen Tony Blair there.
Who was also a
And
So, like, how did she see them there? Like, so she was chilling. She got invited.
She was like the mother goddess of the ritual, or whatever. I don't know what the fuck the terms are. She was the high priestess or whatever the fuck when she was mind controlled.
Oh,
so that's
I feel
her
like
bit.
this isn't. I feel like this isn't viable because she didn't mention Andrew, unless they just didn't let Andrew in because he's an idiot.
Who?
This is like the Bohemian.
The one who just settled with Epstein. Shit.
Oh. Yeah.
I feel like if she was legit, she'd have mentioned him, but maybe he wasn't high enough in the fucking demon shit.
We got all the important ones. We got Kissinger. We got Bush. We got Clinton. We're naming names here on tape
I believe
eaters.
Henry Kissinger was doing it, regardless whether there were aliens involved or not. Henry Kissinger was probably eating kids.
Most definitely.
they all have their quirks as to how they act, even in their reptilian form. Someone who's been talking about around this subject, and it seems to be popular right now.
Who's that?
This man by the last name of Sitchin.
Zechariah Sitchin.
I've seen at rituals, and he is a shapeshifter.
He was a shapeshifter. He was the guy who initially wrote all the Anunnaki stuff. He's one of them.
Got his ass.
Shifter.
What do you remember about Zechariah Sitchin?
That's weird.
Zacharias Sitchin was someone in the rituals attending the rituals who was not a major player in as far as the rituals went, but was someone that others present did not make remarks at, or were very careful as to what they said around him. And he was talking about, he would be talking about doing away with people, persons that were in his way, or were putting out information that he didn't feel that he wanted put out.
So she's pointing at Sitchin as a high-ranking member of the Illuminati that other people didn't want to get in the way of, and he was like calling the shots.
He is very much a disinformer, and that is his job, to disinform about what is going on with the Illuminati and with the reptilians.
So that's why
He actually warned me off from investigating the reptilians, interestingly.
There are eggs. It's like a nest of eggs kept down in that part where it's warm. It's very warm down there in this into this entrance. And these eggs are kept down there incubating, and they are the reptiles' eggs.
What have you seen?
This is literally just a plot of.
She was just talking about like some royal fucking castle or whatever. They're little eggs, and they have like reptilian like pets, like little fucking, I don't know, pet reptiles that aren't the reptilians in control.
They have a Pikachu.
Yeah, they got like Pokemon down there, dude.
The royal family do, the Queen Mother, and the other people you've seen in the rituals. What have you seen them do?
I've seen all of them drink human blood and consume human flesh, and they have their own goblets in which they have blood, and these goblets are encrusted with jewels, And they also have their own daggers, and that the dagger goes into the goblet. Wear these robes, but they don't wear anything underneath the robes, because what is going to happen, what the rituals are all about, they're going to shapeshift, and they can't have anything on under the robes. And there are orgy kind of things that go on at the rituals also.
Butt-ass naked under them robes. And the thing is that when that fucking blood hits, they fucking Hulk out into reptilian form really fast. They would rip their underpants in half if they were wearing clothes.
Just like David Banner, bro.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And
involving the royal family of Britain.
Yes, involving the royal family of Britain, and the sacrifice and the eating of, consuming the sacrifice, and they are involved in that.
And you've seen them do that?
Yes, I have seen them do that.
People in Britain, listening to what you're saying, would obviously be staggered, I guess anywhere in the world, but what would stagger them mostly is, in Britain, the Queen Mother has an image of being the nation's grandmother. The nice old lady, and good old Queen Mum, what a lovely lady. What's your experience of the Queen Mother?
She's a reptile.
She is very cold in reality, and she is very cruel. She obviously, from what I see, enjoys consuming human flesh. It's sickening.
Do they go into a different state in terms of age and strength and all these other attributes when they actually shapeshift?
Yes, the human body that they choose to occupy or take when it was young, it ages, but when they take the reptilian form, these reptilians live hundreds of years, and so they have to have taken more than one human body to live in. A lot of them are much, much older, and I'm including the Queen Mother in this, older than people think that she is. She's been in more than one body.
So, having to take different bodies throughout a lifetime, and the idea of, like, you could have multiple people in, like, the political scene who are hosts to, like, one evil reptile. So when Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies, like, that thing just takes another fucking host. But what's even easier than that is just having all of your politicians and celebrities be like deepfakes and holograms. You don't even have to put a reptile out there. Same basic principle.
You've actually got me so schizo to the point where I'm watching Justin Trudeau in the House of Commons up in Canada with all the shit going down, and I'm swearing up and down to my wife because I just saw a clip, and I'm like, "Oh, he's in front of a green screen. Why is he in front of a green screen? It doesn't look right." And then, like, I watched the full thing, and he sits down in front of everybody, and he's like right next to. He interacts physically with somebody. I'm like,
It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. Who knows? I always think it's a green screen. I'm convinced that the Rittenhouse trial was a green screen. Joe Biden's always in front of a fucking green screen. Everything's a goddamn green screen.
Yeah, they don't let him have
hologram.
Friggin' base. He stays in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
Human form. And when the time comes, if it is time for her to go on, it has been chosen that she still has, it's known that she still has life or years to go, again, she will be put into the body, the essence of her, and the reptilian form will go, or the essence of her will go into another body that is also has the ability to shapeshift into reptilian form.
One of the pure reptilian human bloodlines.
Yes.
What happens when, take the Queen Mother as an example, what happens when they shapeshift? I mean, what do you see?
You start to see changes happen, and they're happening so fast that it's almost it's the closest thing that I've seen to it is what they're now doing with computer technology. It's just a literal transformation that happens very quickly, and they get taller and they get bigger, and they don't look at all as reptilians like they do as humans. and thus the wearing of the robes, because if they were in clothes, the clothes would be torn apart.
So let's take the Queen Mother on this subject as an example. We recognize her as a frail old lady. What does she look like when she shapeshifts at these rituals?
She has, she looks like, the nose portion gets very much longer, and it grows into kind of a snout
Long nose.
kind of thing. She has little fangs.
Curious.
And incisors as teeth, and there's a tongue. They all seem to have this kind of tongue when they're in at this level. The tongue has a lot of long, hairy or pointed projections coming out of it. It's very long. And
she evolves into Machamp.
They have these. They don't have hands or feet. They have these claws. And they have scales. And
what's that?
Like, effectively, they have hands and feet. Like, even if they're claws, they're like, like they're humanoid reptiles.
They gotta have thumbs, right?
Yeah, they have to, they have hands and feet. They're walking around, they're grabbing shit.
That's true.
They're here.
Scar in the chat says George Floyd was CGI. That's true.
It's true.
A lot of people don't know that. That's true.
And also scales that seem to kind of disappear into one another. But it's more pronounced on the back. There seem to be lumps or protrusions coming from the head. There seem to be some kind of growth appendages at where, on the back. And
this is just
they seem folded, and not all of them have that. And there is a tail, and they a lot of times will keep the tail curled. And when I've seen her when she's very displeased with something, as I've seen other members like this. This tail is whipped around, very agitated, and they do. And she hisses.
What color are they?
Which one in particular?
Take the Queen Mother as an example.
She's kind of a beige color on the underside, and by the time you're going up around to the back and the tail and the top of the head and on top of the nose, snout, whatever, it's coming to a very they're dark speckles or large speckles of dark browns. And the eyes usually they're large. They look like they're very round, and they look like they're coming out of their sockets, and very protruding.
It sounds just like Kyle Odom's reports of the reptilians who are gang stalking him. We'll revisit that manifesto soon.
Here's my thing.
Yep.
She has at least about certain quote facts. She has a hesitance about her that sometimes it seems like she's making stuff up, and sometimes it seems like it's genuine. She
seems like a fucking head case.
Yeah,
that could be from a number of sources. Like, maybe her story's real and she was trauma-based mind controlled. Maybe she's just
she's a dumb bitch.
Well, maybe that's exactly it.
She's just a woman.
Yeah, you don't know.
My husband didn't pay attention.
Somebody gave a woman a fucking UFO book, and here we are.
Maybe.
And usually the color ranges from a beige to a gold to a dark greenish gold, and then there's this dark slit up and down, a vertical slit.
Cloaca?
And
talking about the head of my penis.
And the eyes will look hooded. And when they look hooded, it's a very frightening thing, because it seems that when the eyes are hooded, they're about to do something.
What do you mean by hooded?
The lids come down, and
Slit.
It's almost, I guess it would be the same thing in a human as an expression of someone's got an idea.
And how tall are they when they shapeshift?
They're just about 7 feet tall. Some are a little shorter.
And you can't teach
to a
that.
foot shorter. Some are a little bit taller than 7 feet.
What is it about the rituals that allow the shapeshifting to happen?
When the victims are starting to be sacrificed, it's the scent of the blood, and they start shape-shifting at that point in time, and they can hardly wait to get to the blood. It's like they're addicted to the blood, and then the consumption of human flesh that follows.
What have you seen the Queen or any of the royal family do in relation to that? Have you seen them sacrifice and consume human flesh?
There are certain times when they will actually do a sacrifice, or there will have been someone doing a sacrifice, and it's not happening fast enough for them. So they will step in and finish it themselves, because the ritual has to be gone through. It's sacrificially, ritualistically, it has to have been gone through, and they will step right in and just start tearing the throat out, and they're getting all this blood from the jugular vein at the same time, and that has happened when there are many there that are going to be sacrificed, and they just can't wait, and tearing into the contents of the abdomen and stomach of a victim afterwards.
Who have you seen do
terrifying.
that?
I've seen the
video is fucking weird with the I don't know, the production quality. It's like all yellow, a lot of background noise. Her voice is all monotone. It's not from the 90s. This is like the early 2000s, I believe.
Yeah, late 90s. No, that outfit is definitely late 90s.
Well, just because her outfit is late 90s doesn't mean this video is late 90s.
Look at Seinfeld. Outfit, her haircut.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
Somebody George Costanza dated.
Queen Mother do that, and Prince Philip and Charles. I've seen Guy de Rothschild do this. It seems that I've seen it more among royalty or so-called royalty do this than people that are not titled. They don't seem to. They seem like it feels like they don't dare, but they shapeshift nonetheless. But it's like the royals that step in and just start tearing away as they can hardly wait.
How long can they hold the reptilian form in these occasions?
During the rituals, it's much easier for them to hold their reptilian form. They can stay in that form. What it is that they have a hard time holding their human form. And as long as they're around blood and the scent of blood, they can't hold human form.
Was there any way, when Diana was married to Charles, without attending a blood ritual, that she could have seen him or one of the others become a reptile?
They have a tendency when they're asleep to shapeshift, and they have to consciously hold their form, and when they're asleep, they have a tendency to not hold human form and to shapeshift into reptilian. That scent of blood would tend to cause a momentary shapeshift.
All right, that is some spooky fucking crap.
So is she saying that Princess Di was actually eaten by her reptilian husband?
According to David Icke's, I don't know, rumor mill, she knew they were reptilians and would always like refer to them as snakes and cold-blooded and all this stuff as code to say that they were reptiles. And that's why they had her killed.
I mean...
Yeah, or the fact that she was banging a fucking dirty mudblood.
She was banging anybody who fucking wanted it, man. Like, it was just... I went on this Matt guy.
I don't know about that. I'm not gonna be like, whoa, she was a whore. That's why.
Princess Di was a whore. Fuck Princess Di. You could.
Scar says, bro, I'm loving this content. Bring us more of these. What do you want? More reptilian stuff? More fucking weird early internet shit? Let me know. All right. Well, that's all the content I have for this evening. That's for goddamn sure. I want everyone to go to yakobees.com, listen to all the podcasts there, click that fucking merch tab, patreon.com/yakovalive. Yeah, there's ways to monetize me. One's right on screen below me. Yeah, fucking, who else wants to shill something? Baron?
Diana was not a whore.
She was.
Oh, I already showed my link tree.
You didn't. I cut you off on the recording before you could get it done.
Who cares? Who fucking
Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody buys anyway.
97, buy your CBD.
He wants to be the next cartel of CBD, dude. Me and him were talking about this today.
He's the Delta 8 star.
He's gonna conquer Delta 8, dude.
You know what I'm thinking about doing next week? Maybe we can just do a total fucking reset and do Del Rey Misfits.
That'd be fucking amazing, dude. I've been watching Del Rey.
Which is exactly the opposite of what Scar in the chat wants. I don't know. We'll see what's up.
I've been watching Del Rey Misfits for fucking like 10 years, so. But I'm not. I'd have to brush up because it's like kind of fallen off for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to do the classic videos. It's the kind of thing like it would be a one and done episode. There's not enough content to fill a whole fucking show with bangers. Well, yeah. You can do one show full of bangers.
There's so much. Sadly, a lot of it is unattainable unless I would have saved it, which I didn't. Like I said,
Scar asks, what's that?
Sneaky.
Del Rey Misfits is like Jim Bro Lolcow stuff. Jason Genova.
Yeah, just look it up, dude.
It's very funny stuff. It has nothing to do with the paranormal whatsoever.
Del Rey Misfits is shit. Look it up.
We'll see. I would like to set up a new deep dive, whether it's in the Cryptid circle, whether it's in the Ghost Steel, whatever the fuck. I'd like to deep dive more where I do consecutive episodes about one topic and I can nail it all out. So I do like doing that. But once in a while you need the fucking shitty Lolcow episode just to reset your brain, refragment.
I'd like to.
Yeah, but are you gonna make the Del Rey Misfits a Lolcow episode or not? Because there's a Lolcow like we've talked about, Jason. Whatever in it.
Big Lenny's shit. They're also Lolcow videos too.
Yeah, but I don't know if Big Lenny's a Lolcow, dude.
His videos are very, very funny. I'm not trying to.
He's so self-aware. He's so self-aware. Like, you're laughing at Lenny while he laughs at himself.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's different. He's not a Lolcow.
I think
he's a self-loathing cow.
There's enough videos to do an entire episode, definitely. If you on Jason Genova and Big Lenny videos, and anything else is up for grabs too. But like just those two things should be able to add up to something good. All right. Anything else to say, boys? Are we out? I think we
love to see
out.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone in chat. Bill Whitaker just showing up. Sipping on gin and juice, he says. It's always gin.
Be safe and have a good night.
Always.
Have a bad night. I hope.
Be safe, love each other, be fat, be gay. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you say.